Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Wednesday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. If you've been following the channel over a long period of time, you know this by now, but even if it's only been a short period of time, you know that I talk a lot of college football, and with college football being just over a week and a half away, with week 0 coming up a week from Saturday, I've been doing a lot of early season previews. I really start them probably late April, early May, which is always fun to do, but now it's more complicated because now with the transfer portal going on like it is, you might have one roster in February and it might look completely different by August. So now it's even harder, but it still gives us something to talk about. But I usually do one every 2 or 3 weeks in May, June, and July, and then August I try to start doing 2 to 3 a week, if not 4 a week, building up to the season. But the team I'm picking tonight, I'm picking because hopefully he'll jump on here, but I've got a Oklahoma State Cowboy fan, and in the comment section his name is Okie Light, and he's been commenting sporadically here and there for the past 4 or 5 months, and I told him that I would try to do a Oklahoma State preview just for him before the season started. But then on Monday night, I had another Oklahoma State fan. I think his name was Kenny. And Kenny, if you watch this and that's not your name, I apologize, but he commented after my video on Monday and told me, how he agreed with my Big 12 rankings, which I really appreciated. Hey there, Western Hours. Glad to have you here. No, I have not seen Happy Gilmore. I am not a big movie fan. Western Hours, if you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. Please give the video a like and a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. But if you follow the channel, you'll know that I watch 1 movie a year, maybe 2. Hey there, Jayla. Glad to have you here. And Taz, glad to have you here. Thank y'all for stopping by on this Wednesday. But I watch 1 or 2 movies a year. I am doing fantastic, Taz. Thank you for asking. So a lot of the big-time movies that about everybody has seen, I have not, because I just don't watch movies. I can't get bored enough most of the time to watch a movie. But even if I could watch a movie, it wouldn't be that one, because I can't stand Adam Sandler. And I know Happy Gilmore came out a couple weeks ago with part 2. I'm not going to watch it because I've never seen the first one. I want to because I like Bob Barker, but I just don't like Adam Sandler. If it was anybody else besides him, I might would give it a shot, but I can't stand him. But anyway, on to my Oklahoma State prediction for Okie Light and I believe Kenny. Now, last year they were 3-9, and Mike Gundy was consistently a 7 or 8 win coach until last year. Last year they were absolutely just dreadful, and the main problem was offense. And no, Taz, I never have, because first of all, I don't think the channel is big enough to need one. Second of all, I've talked to other people that have YouTube channels that have moderators, and they say it really doesn't help the channel. So I don't really know what the point of having one is. So no, I do not have one. And Nayeli, I'm not even sure when the next meteor shower is. You'd have to inform me. There's no way Oklahoma State is 3-9 again. But last year the problem was their running game, which had everybody perplexed, because in 2023, they had one of the best running games in the country, and their running back, Ollie Gordon II, was actually a dark horse Heisman candidate going into last year, and then they just could not run the ball at all. And that's why tonight I'm mainly going to focus on their running backs and their quarterback battle, because if they can't run the ball any better than what they did last year, the wide receivers aren't going to matter, and the defense isn't going to matter, because Oklahoma State might sneak up and have a 400-yard passing game on occasion, but they're not going to do that on a consistent basis. If they can't run the ball, they have no chance, and that was their problem last year. They couldn't run the ball, and when your offense is one-dimensional and you don't have the firepower at wide receiver or quarterback to throw the ball 60 times a game consistently, you're in trouble. And they just could not run the ball last year. And Nayeli, hopefully, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise at midnight, I'll be asleep. So if it is at midnight, I guess hopefully I'll miss it, because hopefully I will be asleep. And Ruby, glad to have you here. So let's see if they can improve on the 3-9 record from last year, because if they're that bad again, this might be Mike Gundy's last year. Now, I know a lot of the fans wanted him gone 15 years ago, but, you know, when you're at Oklahoma State and you're winning 8 or 9 games every year, you're not getting fired. But if they have a 3-9 year and they follow that up with 3 or 4 wins, he might be out the door. Whether it's him resigning, retiring, or him being fired. But he's had to have been there for 20 plus years, because I can recall him saying, "Come at me, I'm a man, I'm 40, and that's been 20 plus years ago, at least it seems like it has. They opened up the season August the 28th against UT Martin, and then they play Oregon on September the 6th, and I feel bad for Oklahoma State in that game. And then week 3 is their first bye week of the season. Then they come back on September 19th, a Friday night, and play Tulsa. Hey there, Desiree. Glad to have you back on this Wednesday night. I recall you being here last night, so you've been by 2 straight nights, and I appreciate that. After Tulsa, they start conference play with Baylor, and that game is on September the 27th. Then they have Arizona on October the 4th, Houston on October the 11th, Cincinnati on October 18th, Texas Tech on October 25th, open up November on the 1st against the Jayhawks of Kansas, and then they're off in week 11 for their second bye week of the season. And then November 15th, Kansas State, November 22nd, Central Florida, and November 29th, Iowa State. Now, their offensive coordinator is Doug Meacham, and their defensive coordinator is a name that everybody should know. He's coached at Georgia, Florida, Louisville, Mississippi State, and also spent time in the NFL. That is Todd Grantham. Got a fantastic first name, but he gives the Todd name a bad name, but it's got to be better than last year's defense. Last year, their defense was bad, but their offense was so abysmal, I don't think it mattered. And I don't speak Chinese, Chai Ching, but thank you for asking. Sometimes I wish I did, but I don't. But their quarterback battle is going to be Zane Flores, Haas Heine, and a name I'm going to guess on if I say it wrong. I apologize, but Maya Luwaki Smith. Now, back in April, right around springtime, it looked like it was going to be Haas Heine, which is a phenomenal name, by the way. But now that we're almost starting the season, they claim it's a 3-way battle. So I guess we'll find out whether it is Flores, Heine, or Smith. And then With their running backs, they've got Caleb Hicks, Cesai Valahi, Rodney Fields Jr., DJ Duger Jr., Trent Howland, Freddie Brock the fourth, and Jaden Allen Hendricks. Now let's hope that all those guys combined can produce a better running game than last year, because last year it seemed like Ollie Gordon couldn't get 50 yards a game. They were absolutely terrible, and that's why I'm focused on their offense with their running back and their quarterback, because if you can't run the ball and you're Oklahoma State, nothing else matters. You might have the best receiver core in America, and if you can't run the ball, it does not matter. You cannot be one-dimensional. You can do that every now and then, but you can't do that week in, week out if you're Oklahoma State and expect to win. But to me, Oklahoma State's schedule is a lot of toss-up games. So honestly, I could see them going 9-3 or 8-4, and it wouldn't surprise me, because I think Oregon beats you. I think Baylor beats you. I think Texas Tech beats you. That's 3 losses that I think for sure are coming. But I think you beat UT Martin, and I think you beat Tulsa. So that's 2 automatic wins and 3 automatic losses. The other 7 games, I could see them going either way. So I could see them going 2-10, and I could see them going 9-3. I'd be stunned if they beat Oregon, Baylor, or Texas Tech. But any other win, I could see. Any other loss, I could see. So you got 2 wins, 3 losses, and 7 swing games. So if you can get to 5 wins, still not very good, but it is better than last season. But I watched some of Mike Gundy's press conference back in Big 12 Media Days, and honestly, he sounds dejected. And he sounded like he knew he was in for a bad season. And it's funny because this time of the year, most teams are fired up and most fan bases are fired up. And this is a time of the year where, all these teams have practices. You can't go to them, but all you hear about is how great the quarterback's playing, how great the running backs look, how great this defensive back looks, how good the kicking game looks. Because you don't want to ruin your season before it starts by saying, man, our practice, we look bad. We suck. We're terrible. You want your fans to be excited at least till the season gets here. So this time of the year, everybody in America's going undefeated. Everybody's winning the national championship. So it was kind of strange to hear Mike Gundy's, Big 12 Media Day press conference. He just sounded dejected. So just listening to him talk, it's kind of hard to imagine them having a good season because the coach doesn't see it coming. So it's kind of hard for me to see it coming. But I will give them more than 3 wins. I'll say in conference play, they beat Arizona. They'll split between Houston and Cincinnati. They'll win one of those, lose one of those, and then they'll beat Central Florida. So that'll give them 3 conference wins, and then the 2 non-conference wins against UT Martin and Tulsa. That puts you at 3-6 in the Big 12, 5-7 overall, and maybe they end up sneaking a win out against Kansas or sneaking a win out against Iowa State and get to 6 wins. But I'll give them 5 because it's better than last year, and it's kind of splitting in the middle between 2-10 and 9-3 because, like I said, they've got 2 automatic wins, UT Martin and Tulsa. If they lose one of those 2 games, shut the program down, fire everybody, and start over again because you're awful. And then I think Oregon and Baylor and Texas Tech are 3 automatic losses. So you could be anywhere between 2-10 and 9-3. And I'll kind of split the difference, put you at 5-7. So my Oklahoma State prediction is 3-6 in the Big 12, 5-7 overall, with Big 12 wins against either Houston or Cincinnati, Arizona, and Central Florida. Non-conference wins against UT Martin and Tulsa, and maybe, instead of splitting with Cincinnati and Houston, you get both of them, and maybe you sneak up and beat Kansas or Iowa State and get to 7. But until I see them run the ball effectively, I'm going to put them at 5-7. 3-6 in the Big 12 is not going to be dead last, but it's going to be close. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What do you call a sad strawberry? A blueberry. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family